From reverting back to his heavy drinking after Justice League, to the terrible experiences he had on the set. These are the real reasons why Ben Affleck left Batman, starting with the fact that his Batman was just a little too dark.
I went around my whole life thinking that I was more or less as smart as women.
Yeah.
And then I had kids, and I couldn't have been more wrong.
I know I'm speaking for the majority of the fans when I say that Ben Affleck did not have a fair shot at playing the Dark Knight in the DCEU. And what's worse is that he probably won't even get a shot in the DCU. After his encouraging debut in 2016's Batman v Superman, Batfleck became somewhat of a fan favorite. So why did the actor leave the role then? Well, poor writing and terrible experiences really. In the movie, Bruce Wayne was literal hell as the Caped Crusader. And as you'd expect, it left him quite bitter and shattered, something that director Zack Snyder definitely took too far. You see, Snyder's version of Batman was basically indifferent to killing, which is something that the fans hated. Then Justice League happened, and it just ended up being a total hot mess that couldn't even make up its own mind. Affleck went from playing a gritty Bruce Wayne in Batman v Superman to making one-liners in the blink of an eye. Regardless of it all, Affleck's departure from the role is still a bummer for the audience, especially those who enjoyed this version of The Dark Knight. If you're one of them, you might want to prepare yourself to say goodbye to him in the upcoming The Flash movie. It's honestly a shame that we'll never get to witness Batfleck headlining his own film. Still, moving on was the smartest decision Affleck could have made. But the big question is, what did the actor have to say about the situation? Well, after filming Justice League, Affleck told his friend and frequent co-star Matt Damon that he no longer enjoyed being the Caped Crusader. According to the actor, he had the most nadir experience around the Justice League for a lot of different reasons. Affleck said that he doesn't want to go around pointing fingers, but there were a lot of events that happened which led to him leaving. Doesn't exactly give you a lot of context as to why he left, now does it? Luckily, the actor did reveal later on that his time there was unpleasant, and that was one of the biggest reasons why he quit. Another reason was the fact that he did not find the role that engaging at all. Yikes! Affleck said that some terrible things started to happen, and that was when he decided he was done with Batman. He further elaborated, saying that he spoke to Matt Damon about the situation, who had a major impact on Affleck's decision to quit. Ben said that he wants to spend his time doing things that make him happy. He explained how he shot The Last Duel, which according to him was a blast to work on, and he enjoyed every day on the set. Now, even though it wasn't the perfect experience Ben had imagined it would be, because the actor thinks he didn't do everything he was supposed to do. Still, Affleck called it a wonderful experience, which is something he can't say about the Justice League, considering the fact that the film got him addicted to alcohol. Ben has already said that The Flash will be his last film in the role of Bruce Wayne / Batman. This may put an end to the rumors that DC and Warner Brothers were in talks to have him star in a Batman web series as a solo act. The actor explained in an interview with the Herald Sun that he had a very hard experience filming the Justice League with Joss Whedon. He also revealed that this led to his return to heavy drinking. When asked about it, Affleck said that he started drinking too much around the time of Justice League, and it's a hard thing to confront, face, and deal with. According to him, this was why he had left the DCU and his Batman movie in the first place. But did he really leave the role by choice? Even though Affleck has decided to end his tenure as Batman and leave the DCEU, he will still continue to work on DC films as a director and producer. But the thing is, as a result of Gunn's reboot of the entire DC universe, several actors had to leave their beloved roles. And guess who was one of them? Ben Affleck. According to Gunn, the real reason why the actor left the role was to make way for a younger Batman. Robert Pattinson maybe? Meaning Affleck's Batman might have worked in the old DCEU, but the new DCU doesn't have room for him. Canonically, the age difference between Batman and Superman is just a few years. Since Henry Cavill left the DCU to make room for a younger Superman, there's no reason to think that it wouldn't be the same for Ben Affleck and Batman. Gunn wants to explore the origin story of Superman, the simpler times, before he wore that iconic blue and red suit, so it makes sense that he'd want to tone the other characters down as well. Zack Snyder cast Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne, because the director wanted an older, darker version of the character. But the Dark Knight of the DCU won't be like that anymore. To be honest, a lot of fans of the character were pretty surprised by the actor's interpretation, which was very different from how they were used to seeing him portrayed. Speaking of which, did you know why Affleck was cast as Batman in the first place? You see, at the time of Batman v Superman's release, we already had a Batman, Christian Bale, who portrayed the role in Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. So why did Snyder pick Affleck to play the Caped Crusader instead of simply going with Bale? Well, as the director said, this was a completely different reality from the Dark Knight, and since Bale doesn't exist in their universe, Snyder couldn't hire him, even if he wanted to. The director also joked that he almost cast Bale in another role, saying he could have played Alfred with age makeup, to emphasize how different the two worlds really are. Snyder continued by saying that Superman would have a tough time existing in the Batman universe created by Chris Nolan, and that's why they wiped the slate clean and started over with the entire new universe, to avoid confusion, I guess. The director also spoke about why he thought Affleck would make a good Batman. He revealed that he wanted a vintage Batman, but not one that looked senile. Snyder wanted to go for a more experienced, world-weary one. And honestly, I think Ben has nailed it. Affleck had the right height and gravitas that Snyder was looking for. Ben is a big guy, and after donning his boots, he measured in at 6 foot 6 inches. And as Snyder said, he can't stand a baby Batman, so Ben Affleck was the perfect guy for him. Since we're on the topic, you gotta admit that the guy absolutely crushed the role given to him. Over the years, numerous actors have taken on the role of Batman, and fans of comic book films have heated online disputes about which version is superior. Some people think that the original portrayals of the role by Adam West and Michael Keaton were the best, while others favor the more contemporary interpretations by Christian Bale and Robert Pattinson. But Ben Affleck's portrayal of Batman has the most significant and vocal fan base out there. Affleck was first considered for the role of Batman in August 2013, and he took on the role as Warner Bros. Started working on their own DCEU. He's also made more appearances as Batman than any other actor. Affleck's portrayal of Bruce Wayne in Batman v Superman is riveting, tough, and tragic at the same time, kinda like how Batman is supposed to be. It's a view of the character that's rarely seen on film, and it contrasts sharply with other interpretations, like Christian Bale's heroic version or Michael Keaton's eccentric loner take. This distinguishing feature made the BVS Bruce Wayne at least moderately interesting on paper, but Affleck's performance added gravitas and made the character even more intriguing. The anguish and tiredness in his words, his stance, and his gaze gave us a new type of Batman, and honestly, I was in love with the character all over again before the DCEU ruined it. Well, that was the real reason why Ben Affleck left Batman. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.